In the world of random exploration and the mysterious app known as Randonautica, adventure can quickly turn into something far more unsettling. These are not your typical travel stories. They are journeys into the unknown, where the boundary between coincidence and the inexplicable blurs. As users venture into uncharted territory, guided only by the app's random coordinates, they often stumble upon places that defy explanation. These locations may hold secrets, eerie coincidences, or encounters with the unexplained that challenge our understanding of reality. Within the confines of Randonautica, you'll find stories of eerie objects discovered at the app's behest, inexplicable occurrences that defy logic, and strange encounters with places that seem to hold a hidden, almost supernatural significance. Each tale is a window into a world where the boundaries of the ordinary are stretched to their limits. So, brace yourself for a journey into the realm of Randonautica's mysterious and often unsettling experiences, where the line between chance and something more profound remains tantalizingly uncertain. These stories are a reminder that, in the world of exploration, the unexplained and the eerie may be just a random coordinate away. Story 1. It was a humid summer evening, and my curiosity had gotten the best of me. I had heard about this app called Randonautica that promised random adventure and intriguing discoveries, so I decided to give it a try. Little did I know that my innocent quest for excitement would lead me to an experience that still haunts my nightmares. I opened the app, which generated a set of coordinates in an unfamiliar part of town. With a sense of excitement and trepidation, I set out on my journey, following the GPS directions to the letter. The app's tagline echoed in my mind: "Adventure at your own risk." As I reached the designated location, a strange sense of foreboding washed over me. I found myself standing in front of an abandoned, dilapidated building, with its windows shattered and walls covered in graffiti. Cautiously, I approached the building, my heart pounding in my chest. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that something was terribly wrong. With each step, my anxiety grew, and I hesitated at the entrance, contemplating whether to go inside or turn back. But as I stood there, frozen in indecision, I heard it. A faint, ghostly whisper that seemed to emanate from the depths of the building. It was a voice, almost too soft to decipher, yet undeniably there. My blood ran cold as I stood still, trying my best to listen. "Help me," the voice whispered, a desperate plea that sent chills down my spine. I had no idea who or what could be inside that forsaken place, but I couldn't ignore that haunting cry for help. Summoning every ounce of courage, I stepped into the darkness, my phone's flashlight cutting through the shadows. The interior was a maze of decaying rooms and corridors, the air thick with an oppressive, eerie silence. The voice seemed to beckon from deeper within, leading me further into the heart of the abandoned building. What I encountered in those dark recesses, I can barely put into words. A presence, a figure, or perhaps something that defied explanation. My heart raced as I fled from that place, the voice still echoing in my mind. To this day, I can't explain what I experienced during that Randonautica adventure. Was it a mere coincidence, a figment of my imagination, or something more sinister? I may never know, but the memory of that haunting whisper still lingers, a chilling reminder of the unknown that can be uncovered in the quest for adventure. Story 2. I embarked on my Randonautica journey, armed with nothing but my curiosity and the promise of adventure. The app's random coordinates led me to an area I'd never visited before, a place shrouded in mystery and uncertainty. As I followed the GPS directions, the scenery changed from familiar streets to a desolate, overgrown path. The app had brought me to the edge-dense, overgrown woods. The sun hung low in the sky, casting light through the trees of the unknown area. With a mixture of excitement and wonder, I ventured deeper into the woods. The app's instructions were clear. Follow the path, and your intention will reveal itself. My intention had been simple: a desire for something out of the ordinary, a break from the monotony of everyday life. The forest grew darker as I walked, the rustling leaves and chirping birds, the only sounds to break the silence. It was then that I noticed something peculiar. A flickering light, like a distant lantern, beckoning me further into the depths of the woods. My heart raced as I followed the ethereal glow, a sense of unease gnawing at my senses. The trees seemed to close in around me, their branches forming a shadowy canopy overhead. I pressed on, my curiosity overpowering my fear. The light led me to a small clearing, where I stumbled upon an old, weathered book lying on the ground. It was a journal, its pages filled with cryptic drawings and handwritten notes. The writing was indecipherable, but the sense of foreboding it conveyed was unmistakable. Suddenly, the lantern-like glow faded, plunging me into darkness. Panic surged through me as I fumbled for my phone, using its flashlight to scan my surroundings. The clearing was empty, the journal gone without a trace. With a growing sense of dread, I retraced my steps, desperate to find my way back to civilization. The forest seemed different now, a labyrinth of winding paths that disoriented me at every turn. Fear gnawed at me as I realized I was lost, trapped in this eerie wilderness. Hours passed, and exhaustion set in. I could hear whispers in the wind, the faint rustling of leaves taking on an unsettling cadence. My phone battery was running low, and the darkness of the forest seemed never-ending. Eventually, I stumbled upon a familiar path, leading me back to the outskirts of the woods. I emerged, shaken and disheveled, my Randonautica adventure forever etched into my memory. The journal, the mysterious light, and the eerie forest would haunt my dreams for nights to come, a chilling reminder of the inexplicable encounters that can occur when you dare to explore the unknown. On a warm summer afternoon, my friends and I decided to try Randonautica, seeking adventure beyond the familiar wooded areas that had become our usual destinations. The app generated coordinates that led us to an isolated spot outside of town, surrounded by rolling fields and tall grasses. As we followed the GPS directions, we couldn't help but feel a growing sense of discomfort. The location seemed far removed from civilization, and there was an eerie stillness in the air, broken only by the distant chirping of crickets. The fields stretched endlessly in every direction, and there was no sign of human activity in sight. Upon reaching the coordinates, we found ourselves in an open field with no discernible landmarks. The sun was beginning to dip below the horizon. It was then that we noticed a lone figure in the distance, a silhouette that seemed out of place in the desolate surroundings. As we squinted to get a better look, we realized the figure was moving toward us. Panic set in as we realized that we were being watched, stalked by an unknown presence in this isolated expanse. We couldn't make out any distinguishing features, only a dark, shadowy outline growing closer. Fear gripped us and we decided to make a hasty retreat, our hearts pounding as we ran back towards the safety of our car. The figure continued to pursue us, never gaining or losing ground, always at the edge of our vision. As we reached the car and sped away, the feeling of being watched lingered, and we couldn't shake the unsettling sensation that we had ventured into a place where we were not alone. Randonautica had taken us on an adventure beyond the woods, into a realm where the unknown and the eerie lurked just beyond the horizon, a chilling reminder that sometimes curiosity can lead to encounters that defy explanation.